Hello folks. Well, it's Sunday afternoon and it is so good to be out here in the workshop. Hunting season is upon us. And you know, while I'm out here, there aren't any text messages, phone calls, emails, and no one's offering their opinion on either side of this COVID journey that we're all on. The only voices I'm hearing right now are crows, blue jays, there's even a chipmunk out there. Well folks, I got a couple tasks I want to do today. At the end of hunting season last year, I took the string off my bow. So I'm going to put the string back on, put some of the silencing devices back on, and we're going to mount a GoPro to the crossbow. I think it'll be a whole lot easier to get something on film when I'm shooting it with a crossbow when I have the camera on top of the bow than when I'm trying to aim the camera, then get back and shoot the bow while the animals move, then aim the camera again. Alrighty, let's get this string on the bow. I just love this Micro 360 takedown, and I just love this crank system. The brace height on this bow is supposed to be 1.5 to 2 inches. And we are right on 1 7/8 inches. That's perfect. And the final step in restringing little Betsy here is to put these two deceleration and silencing pads back on. I put a little bit of tension on the string. Makes it a lot easier to fit it in there. My original thought when it came to mounting the GoPro to the crossbow was to somehow utilize this 1/4 thread here and mount the GoPro directly onto the top half of the front ring. But when I looked at how thin that front half is, I don't think that'll work. So back to the drawing board and talked to Dr. Google, and I found a device, it's all out of aluminum, for mounting your GoPro to bicycle handlebars. Well, I thought, wow, and it'll actually accept the same diameter as the scope tube. But then when I looked at where my scope is mounted, it's at the perfect eye relief for me personally right now. I would have to scooch the scope forward all the way, and then I'd still have to machine a little bit off the width of this ring to make it fit. So then I wondered, could I replace the top ring with just this mount itself? And I think it's going to work. I've already checked it. These screws here that hold the top ring half down, they look to be the same thread and the same diameter as the screws in that piece I bought off the internet. So I think I can just swap the two pieces as long as the screws are in alignment. That I really haven't checked. Well, that's definitely the same diameter and the same pitch thread, because that screw just goes in like a dream. There, I got both screws in. Both screws started anyways. And I can see that the spacing on the screws, although it's not exactly the same, it's pretty close. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something because as soon as I go to push this down, it's a little tight. So all I'll do is, I think I'll just drill those screw holes out just a little larger on this piece here. And that should solve that problem. It might be okay. Now we've got to cut these fasteners off. They're far too long. And let's see how much we have to trim these fasteners off. We can always cut them twice. We want to make sure we don't cut too much off. I'm going to say we're going to take off somewhere around 24th, 64ths. We've cut the screws to length. Now I'm just going to chase the edges. And they're stainless. They're hard as granite. Now let's put the piece on, put the mount on and see what it fits like. So this top piece off the mount I bought off eBay, the bicycle GoPro mount, it fits like a dream. I've got the screws in. I'm just going to snug them up, and I'm going to make sure that it's, I'm going to turn that out of the way. I'm going to make sure that it's mounted parallel. So I'm going to measure the gap in the rings. It's about 14/64. And that's pretty close too, actually. So we'll snug it up. I'm excited to put the GoPro on and see what it's like. there we go. Isn't that slick? And it's nice and low, so it's not a mile above the axis of the scope of the bow. 30 yards, let's see what it looks like. Oh, I can't wait to see what this looks like on an animal. And I can't wait to see what this looks like on the computer screen tonight. Well folks, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I sure had a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you again on Out of the House with Paul.